Hi everyone. So today I'm going to create an web application, a very basic web application in ASP.NET, and I'm going to deploy that particular web application into a virtual machine, and I'm show you how you can deploy a ASP.NET web application into a virtual machine and make it access from the internet, right? So before going to the tutorial, you should have achieved some prerequisites, right? So you should have download the Visual Studio Code, right? The VS Code from the internet. So I'm not going to show you how you download and install. You have to download the Visual Studio Code, and from the Visual Studio Code you have to go to the extension section. From the extension section, select the C#, and you have to install this C# dev kit, this package, right? You have to install this one, and I'm going to develop ASP.NET 8.0 web application, right? Based on .NET 8. Right, so then you have to download the .NET 8 SDK as well. So you can go to the documentation and you can find the SDK related to .NET 8.0, and you have to download the SDK and you have to install. Right, so before you start my tutorial, first you have to download the SDK and install. Then you have to download the VS Code and install. Then from the VS Code you have to find this dev kit extension and you have to install that as well, right? So before you start the this tutorial, you have to do those 3 steps, right? Let's go to the tutorial. So in this tutorial I have created a folder in my D drive called web app, right? So, and I'm going to open this folder from the Visual Studio Code. So I will go file and open folder, and I'm going to web app and open. Right, now the web folder is open, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a simple web application, right? You have to select Control Shift and P. Then you have to select .NET New Project, right? After you select the new project, okay. From here, from this selection, you have to select ASP.NET Core Web App. So, not this one. We will go with this. Selected, and I will say so web app, default directory. I select the default directory, create project. Let's wait to create the project. Okay, the project is created. Now you can go to the Solution Explorer. In here you can see the web app is created, the name of web app, right? So this is the web app we have created. So we can go on this web app, the CS project, and we can right click, and we can go to debug and start new instance. So when I click start new instance, this web application is running in my local machine. We can see the browser window will appear, right? So this is the web application. This is a very simple web application with a very simple features. So web app, the name of the application, the home page, and the privacy section, right? There is a small navigation here. You can see there are small navigations. So this is the web application that we this is the sample web application that we created, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy this sample web application into Windows Server virtual machine, right? So in here I wanted to explain something, right? So when I'm click run, right? So when I'm click the debug and when I click the run, what will happen is first this project is built, right? There is a build. This project is built. After that build version is run on the .NET runtime, right? It's a run on the .NET runtime in a server in this local machine, right? So then what we are going to do is we are going to create a Windows Server machine, Windows Server 2022 virtual machine in Azure, and we are going to deploy this simple application into a web server. So let's go to the Azure environment and we'll create necessary resources. First of all, I am going to create a resource group. Let's go and say web app, and I will create it in the Southeast Asia because it's the nearest region for me. So review and create. Okay, so web app is created, the resource group is created. Now I'm going to the virtual machine sections. I need to create a virtual machine because I need to deploy my web application into a virtual machine, right? So I'm going to select my resource group, web app, and I'm going to give a name, same name, web app, Southeast Asia. So availability options, I will select no infrastructure redundancy required. So if you want to get an idea about the creating options and the meaning of each options, so there is a video how to create a virtual machine in Azure in this playlist. You can go to the previous video and you can see how what are the meaning of, what are the purpose of these each options, right? I'm not going to in depth explain the option of each options, right? So you have to go and check. Security type, I'm going to be the standard, right? And image, so I have to select an image. I'm going with the Windows Server. I'm going with the Windows Server 2022 Data Center Exchange 2. So that's the image that I'm going to select. Okay, it's loaded. And I'm going to standard B2S because I need some kind of a good performance to show you how this is work. Next, go to the username. I will give some kind of a username, and I have to provide a password. Okay, I will confirm password. Right. So then I will allow RDP port. It should be only for my machine. For now, I will select none. Okay, we will enable it after the machine is deployed. So, and I will go to the disk section. So I will okay with the default configurations, and I'm going to the networking section. And it's okay, I'm not much consideration about the networking section now, because the basic network configuration is good for me. Still loading. Okay, so VNet is created, web VNet default. Okay, so we don't need to consider about these kind of things. So go to management. No worries. In the monitoring section, I will disable the boot diagnostic. That's all what I need. Now I'm going to review and create section, and I'm going to create the Windows 2022 virtual machine. Okay, so I'm going to create. Okay, there are several resources related to the VM is created. So network security group, virtual network, the public IP. Okay, seems like the network interfaces and all things has been complete. Right, now the application, the server is completed of deployment. Right, let's go to the server, the virtual machine. Alright. Oh. So seems like I have given the name of web. I remember that was web app. So okay, it's fine. So it seems like it's still provisioning the VM, because the public IP addresses are okay. Now those are loaded. So now I wanted to connect to this VM, but before connecting to the VM, so I have to go to the networking settings, and I have to enable the port rules, right? So I'm going to go to here and I create inbound port rules. So not any for my IP address, because I'm the only person need to log into this VM as a RDP connection. So here I will select RDP. So the default 3389 port is selected. So and I will go ahead. The port rule is added to the virtual machine. Okay. Now I will go to the overview section. And I will go to the connect and go to the connect section, and I download the RDP file. Right. And I am going to open, connect, why it's still connecting? Okay, now it's connected. I have to provide password. Okay, remember me. Okay, don't ask me again. Yes. Okay, now I'm connecting to web server. So now the virtual machine is provisioned successfully, right? So if we, like, as I explain in here, like here what will happen is, when I am, like, I will stop here, right? I will stop the application, go to the right here. When I right click and debug and start new instance, what will happen is, first this application is built, right? After that, the built version of the application is running on a server in this local machine, right? So then, yeah, on a web server, it's run on a web server in this machine, right? So then, so if you are planning to deploy this application into a virtual machine, then that virtual machine should have a web server, right? This virtual machine should have a web server. So the Windows Server machines have a web server called IIS Web Server. So now we are going to configure IIS Web Server in Windows 2020 virtual machine, because IIS is the web server that help to run the web application, right? So I'm going to add role and features section, and I will go to next. The role-based features installation. Again go to the next, and here I am selecting IIS Web Server. Now I am going to add a web server to this virtual machine, IIS Web Server. So when my application is run, the application run on this web server. Next, and install. Now I am installing the IIS Web Server. Right, now the installation is completed. So you can see the installation success on web. Now I'm going to close, right, and check whether IIS Web Server is running. So the IIS Web Server default page should be run. So I should be able to access it in the 80 port. So let's go to the VM again and go to the network settings, and I'm allow inbound port role any for the HTTP port and net. So that's mean anyone in the internet can access the 80 port of this machine, HTTP port, right? Now let's go to the overview section and take the public IP address and go to the HTTP public IP address and select, and it should be loaded. Okay, so IIS Windows service loaded. Right, this is the default page of the IIS Web Server. Now you can see IIS Web Server is loaded, right? Right. So, right. So as I explained you, now the web server is installed in the Windows Server virtual machine, right? But having web server is not enough, right? Because so when we are deploying this web application into the server, into the web server, what we are going to do is we are going to build this web application, and that build web application need to run on the web server. For that, the web server should have .NET 8 runtime, right? Because the runtime is the environment that help to run the application. Therefore, this virtual machine should have a runtime. So then I'm going to install ASP.NET 8.0 hosting bundle. Because this hosting bundle, let's go to the documentation. .NET, ASP.NET, ASP.NET Core 9.0. I need 8.0. So go to here, and I need to download. Let's see. No, this is not what I need. This is .NET 9. I need .NET 8. Let's go to the .NET section and go to 8.0, and here you will be able to see the hosting bundle. So this one. So you have to download and install. So ASP.NET Core Runtime 8.011, right? The ASP.NET Core Runtime enable you to run existing web server applications on Windows. We recommend installing the hosting bundle, which include .NET Runtime and IIS support. Right? So this hosting bundle support IIS. So then I'm going to the hosting bundle. Okay, the hosting bundle is downloaded. Go to the download section of the server. So now we are in a server. Right? Okay, this is downloaded. Now I need to install it. I agree and install. Now the hosting bundle is installing. Okay, now install is successful. Now what I am going to do is now I am going to close this connection, right? And then I need to this stopped, right? We'll take a new terminal, and now I need to create a published version of this application, right? I have to build and create a published version of application. So here with this command you can create a published version of this application and store it in the bin folder /publish. So I will execute this code. So when I execute this code, this bin publish. Okay, so the bin publish is created. So this is the runnable version of the application, right? The published version of the application. Right. So then I will go to the remote connection, because I need to modify this remote connection, because I need to I have to deploy the published version of the application into the Windows server, right? So for that I have to connect my local machine with the cloud application, right? So I have to connect my virtual machine with my local machine. For that I have to go to the local resources and go to more and drivers, and I have to click the D. With this option you can connect your local machine with the Windows virtual machine. So I will connect. Now it's connected. Let's go to the File Explorer and this PC and go to the desktop and go to my folders. So web app. Inside web app there's a bin folder and there is a published version of the application. I will copy. Right. So this is the this is the published version of the application. Right. This is the published version of the application in my local machine. Right. So now I have to go to IIS Web Server. I have to go to the IIS Web Server. Administrative tools. Windows Administrative Tools, and I will go to the IIS Web Server, and so I will select the sites. So this is the default websites that you show. So you saw. So this is the default website. So this is the configuration related to the default website. So I am going to the binding section and I am going to change this port because I need to I am going to this port to 8080 something because I need to access my web application through this 80 port. So then I go to the sites and I will create a new website. Site name will see web app as a web app, and the physical path. So I have to create a path, right? I have to create a path in this VM. Let's go to the VM, and in the VM, inside the VM, I will create a path called web app. Web app. Let's select web app, right? So in this path I am going to connect this path to here as a physical path. I am going to see and select the web app path. So this is the website that we are going to create. So this website is hosted on 80 port, and the files related to this website are included in the C directory web app folder. Right. Now I am again going to my file explorer of the virtual machine. Go to the D drive. So this is the D drive of my local machine, and go into the 2025 web app. So bin and the publish folder. Inside publish folder I will control A and select all the files, and I will create another file explorer. In here I will go to the C drive. Inside C drive I created web app. Inside web app I am pasting these files. Okay, so now all files from the local machine, the published version of the web application is copied to the virtual machine. Right, now let's go and see whether we can access the web application through the home through the browser. Now you can see through the browser we can access the web application So here, like you can see, like locally, this is the same web application we have hosted in the local, right? So this is the web application is not running, so that's why. So let's go and run. Right. So the same web application, the host is running in the local. Now it's running in the web browser here inside the virtual machine. So that's how you can deploy a simple ASP.NET web application into Windows Server and make it access through the internet, through the HTTP, right? So that's it for today. So if you have any kind of a question related to this tutorial, you can ask the question in the comment section. So if you want to clarify anything more, you can, when you are watching this tutorial and you are trying to set up this web application, and if you got any kind of issues, problems, you can inform me through the comment section, and I will address you, and I will address to your questions. If you have any kind of a problem, please let me know in the comment section. And if you have any idea that whether we can improve, I can improve these tutorials, let me know those suggestions also in the comment section. Thank you very much. That's it for today.